Und wir starten mit der Präsentation der stärksten 12 Burschen nach der Qualifikation im Boulderclub. Beginnend mit Władysław Borosz. Einen Riesenapplaus für ihn. Super stark geklettert, for Team Hungary. Welcome him. Und der nächste, der Marco Bauhofer. Gratulation. Nicht gefolgt von Noah Reichmann. Auch für ihn einen Riesenapplaus. Und der nächste auch schon, der Andreas Summerer. Ein Riesenapplaus auch für ihn und auch Nevo Alon. Gratulation für die starke Performance. Und jetzt ein Riesenapplaus für Julian Schrittwieser, den Schneider. Sowie für Kai Berabloff, Stockmann und Owen Osege. Auch er super stark geklettert. Genauso wie Max Berton, auch von ihm eine super starke Performance. Genauso wie der Kärntner Timo Uschnik. Und auch Tomer Jakobovic, super stark geklettert in der Quali im Boulderclub. Und der Erstplatzierte nach der Qualifikation, Bojan Kirov, for Team Bulgaria. Congratulations, getting a spot here in the finals. Those are the strongest men, and we're continuing with the female. Weiter geht's mit den Mädels, die Valentina Scarlett. Riesenapplaus auch für sie. Und auch die Lea Schweiger, super geklettert. Auch für sie einen Riesenapplaus. Sowie Chiara Allgäuer. Und auch Beklai Zala, Gratulation für einen Platz im Finale. Und auch Elina Vettori hat hier einen Platz unter den besten 11. Und die Kärntnerin Franziska Benedikt auch sie ist super stark geklettert. Und Sarah Rosenauer auch hier im Finale mit dabei. Genauso wie Carla Zrinski, auch sie super stark geklettert. Und einen riesengroßen Applaus für die Katharina Bergmann, für Team Graz. Auch die Kathi ist super geklettert. Und die zweitplatzierte nach der Qualifikation, Sophia Avenda, super stark, auch sie. Und der erstplatzierte nach der Quali, die Anna Folius. Riesenapplaus für die stärksten Mädels. Hier unsere Finalisten, U16-Kategorie. Jetzt haben sie 2 Minuten Zeit für jeden Boulder, für die Observation und dann geht es schon los mit dem Finale.
Hello, welcome back again. We are here in Graz for the U16 final of the men and the women. My name is David Patterson and I'm delighted here with Thomas Kovacher, the trainer for the Austrian county here in Graz. He's the trainer for all the youth teams. Yes, tell me, Thomas, how has it been for you? It's been a long day and...
it's been long days, yes. And thanks to be here, thanks that I can commentate here. And most of you guys already have seen the last few days, so we had like the Austrian Championship here in bouldering, where all the adults competed, and then we had the youngsters yesterday with U12 and U14, so under 14. And today we have now the U16, so the 14 to 16-year-old boys and girls. And we have now 4 boulders. They will look at the boulders right now. They have 2 minutes per boulder to look at. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yes, many of your athletes actually qualify for finals in all categories, so it's pretty nice to see that the Austrian team has a pretty strong trainer who teaches them pretty well. And you guys are training in Blockhouse, right? Or which are the places where you mainly train?
Most of bouldering we train in Blockhouse, so it's also the the chef of the blockers, also made this event. And for rope climbing, we have one gym in Graz, and we have another gym in Mitterdorf, you may know from Johanna Ernst back then. And yeah, but most of the time bouldering is here in Graz in Blockhaus. At some point we are sometimes at the Newton, it's a new gym. And yeah.
Yes, the U16, both female and male, were having the qualification round today in the morning in the Boulder gym, Boulder Wall of Boulder Club, and they actually the women had a pretty tough round. The best one qualified with 2 tops, but further down it was only 1 top all the way through, and you could actually qualify with some zones. So it was a pretty tough round. The men had it a bit easier. They had 2 tops. The best one, I think, qualified with 3 tops, and you could qualify into finals with 1 top. And we're having 12 on the male side, and on the women's side we have 11. This is due to same score on some of the less strong athletes who qualified for today. We have this is an international competition, and we have, for example, Max Beton, the sister of Oriane Beton, a pretty strong climber who was already climbing 80 plus on lead and climbed his first 8P boulder this year. This is Misterio in Fontainebleau, and definitely a really strong competitor in the field, alongside with Timo Uschnik, the younger brother of Nikolai Uschnik, who also managed to send an 8B boulder this year in Maltatal, the famous wrestling with the alligator. And on the women's side, we have Scarlett Valentina, Schweiger-Kleire, Alcoya Chiara, Zala Peklai, Vettori Elina, Benedikt Franziska, Rosena Sara, Serinsky Carla, Bergman Katerina, Avende Sofia, and Bolusana. And there we can see a little bit the score. And they will start as they qualified, so the one who didn't qualify with so many points will go first, and so forth until we get to Annapolis, which made the best score with 1 top and 3 zones on the female side. Could you tell us?
I think you managed 2 tops, but yeah, but none of the others could do that. I think there is 1 top for the first few, and the rest just could do zones. I think it could be a little bit easier right now and more spectacular to climb. And for the competitors, it's new to be in this venue, so they competed in the morning at the gym, and there were no spectators, so it was very clear for them where to go, and no people. And here we have like a big crowd looking at them. We have the big venue here, as you could see in the last few days, and this also brings a lot of adrenaline to the game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see them climb.
Yes, and here you have the youngsters U16 male. We're starting with Boris Botsikar, Bauhofer Marco following down with Noah Reichmann, Andreas Samara, Nevo Alon, Julian Schridwisser, a local hero, Pedolvos Jogmankai, August Owen, Max Beton, Timo Uschnik, Tome Jakovic, sorry for my French, and Boyan Kirov further down, who qualified the best one with 3 tops, I believe. Could you tell us something about, for example, the Julian Schridwisser? He's more known maybe on his elite field, but also has qualified many times on bouldering.
Yes, he's one of the steering athletes, and he's also at the national team. He's very strong, and you can see him. He's a little bit smaller. I hope that's not a disadvantage for him this season, or at this comp. It was a little bit disadvantage at this season, but he's very strong, so he's very creative at climbing. So we'll find some new beta of him, and we'll see how the boys will manage to do the boulders.
Yes, on the female side we have also 2 of your athletes, Katharina Bergman and Sophia Wender. They also qualified really strongly, actually, 2nd and 3rd position. Can you tell us a little bit about these 2 athletes, please?
Yeah, they both train at Blockhaus and Cedar 20 Center in Graz. So there's athletes from Graz. And Sophia Avenda also competed at some European Cups at leap climbing, and she could do 2 top 10 positions this year. And she also had been in Slovakia some weeks ago, where she could finish, I think, 9th. She was 4th after qualification. That she could made a little mistake, but she will be she's strong, and you will see her in the next few years.
Yeah,
So looking forward to that.
she had a little bit of an injury last year, I believe.
Yeah,
With,
not a little. She nearly lost a year.
wow.
And she had an injury at the finger, and you know, finger injury is very bad. And so
At this age, at least. Yeah.
yeah, and she needed to rest like 3 or 4 months, no climbing.
Okay.
And she still could manage to come back this year, and very strong. So she's going strong again.
Yeah, we're happy to see her here, giving the best at her hometown in Graz. And it's, like you said, a pretty special occasion because it doesn't happen every year that we get a stage of this size in the middle of the city. And we're really happy to be able to hold many different categories, not only the old ones and the grown-ups, but also the young 12, 14 years and 16 years old. And maybe you could talk us a little bit. We have had here some observation that you guys have been able to see. This is a slab. Can you please run us through this little slab that you see here for the men four?
I think the first view of the boulder we will see when the first competitor comes out. So the kids are very creative at climbing at on such slabs. So let's talk through it later with the slab and with the boulders, because at first point, if you're standing behind the boulder, you may know, you have an idea, but then in the boulder you will see they change their ideas, and suddenly they're on the top with the crazy beta. And I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, as you can see, that the team is, or the competitors are very, there's a variety of different competitors from different states, different countries. Even Israelis are here, so
yeah,
really far away. And I have to say, I competed now in 2 of the competitions and coached at the 3rd one, and it's a huge event. And I have to say, I've never seen such good organized event. And yeah, it's really good organized. And every competitor I talked to was fascinated about it. So
yes,
we had a lot of World Cup climbers here, so yeah.
It's really nice to have such a variety and such a well-organized venue. To be honest, Julia Pinger was telling yesterday that she normally helps on organizing, but Stoffel did such a good job that she didn't have to do anything. So we're really happy that it's going pretty well, pretty smooth, no problems so far. And yes, we're going to start really soon. We're going to have a couple of minutes for the athletes to go back. They have had a previous observation where they are commenting the different solutions that everybody can think. Yeah, what do you find? Do you like it more when there's a previous observation and people can talk between themselves and have 1 minute less than normally? Or are you more a fan of going for the 5 minutes on your own?
I think it's different for the climbers, because when you have observation time, you have an idea, and if this idea is not the best, the rest of the crew maybe tells you another idea. Yeah. And if it's 5 minutes, it's more on your own, so you have to think how to better on your own. And if you're not that good at it, it's maybe easier if somebody helps you out. But if you're a really good competitor, you need to have good ideas on your own. So maybe for some people, it's easier to go through the boulder together and not on your own, and so they will have a little advantage out of it. But it's still wonderful to see that all the competitors talk to each other, are friends, and share their opinion about the boulders. And there is no competition between the people, but for me it often looks like they compete against the wall. And yes. So who's strong against the wall? Of course, some are better than the others, but still, it's the atmosphere is like really good.
That's really nice that you say this. I have the same impression I have been telling in the last competitions, and really nice to hear for somebody who is so expert like you and who is involved into competitions every year and every month across the whole world, and sees exactly what you just told, that there is a friendly competition, that they are not hiding information, they're going for who's the best, but they still feel happy for the other ones, and that's really sportivity, sportsmanship.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's always fun when the athletes come home after international competition and they tell me, oh, I have the telephone number of this girl and this boy, and we text each other now, and how we train in Bulgaria and in Graz and in Innsbruck and in Slovenia and in, I don't know, in Japan. So they're getting friends, and that's really good spirit, I would say.
Yeah, we were getting a shot of the 4 route setters just before. The route setters have been actually twitching these boulders because they were mentioning that the previous round was a little bit too hard and they wanted to see a few more tops as they were expecting, especially on the women's side. And the route setters have been Patrick Sommer, Fabian Loy, Anja Sevinek, and Berhard Reiter-Lenner, who was with me yesterday commenting for you the U12 final. Yes, we're in 4 minutes 44 going to start. It has been a little bit rescheduled. As I mentioned before, it was going to be at 5, but due to some other reasons, they had to reschedule it for 16:30.
And this afternoon, after this comp, we will see the finals of the Masters, so there is still something going on.
Yeah, this is planned at 8 o'clock, so we still have a lot whole evening, a lot of climbing to do.
Yeah, and we are here now in Graz, in the middle of Graz actually,
yes.
So you can see the Schlossberg, our biggest hill, just behind of us. In front of us, behind the venue, you may not see it, but there is a really big church, so it's really in the middle of the city. And it's pretty warm here, so that will be at some point a little bit of a disadvantage for the big holes. And I hope they don't slip that much, because the sun is not now not in on the mats anymore, but they have been in the morning, so yes, maybe they still feel it.
You had also a pretty tough round in the morning. It was really warm, right?
Yeah. We had the semi-finals of the Masters the morning, and I think for the boys we had one top in total, and there were like, I don't know, 10 or 20 people already competing at some point at World Championships and World Cups. So it was a little bit too hard. And I talked to, I think it was Arma Bestfahrer, and she was like, yeah, it's getting better. I could hold the starting position. So I think they miscalculated a little bit because they didn't think about the sun. Because all the athletes had not that much skin left from yesterday and the day before, and the sun was just too hot yesterday and today, so they miscalculated that a little bit. Hopefully they're changing a little bit for this afternoon, so it will be fun to watch.
Yes, definitely. We could experience the same in the Austrian Masters, that in the evening it was a lot cooler and the people were able to probably press a lot harder. Some of the athletes who were competing this morning just didn't have any skin from the previous rounds and were suffering with the heat and the humidity a lot. How has this been for you, actually? I see you have really red fingertips.
Actually, I have good skin compared to to the other competitors. I think you've seen Johanna Färber. I think yesterday she pleated on 6 fingers.
Wow.
So yeah,
she was destroyed for today.
She was destroyed, and she didn't qualify for finals, and not possible, because if you climb with tape, it's something different.
Not the same, and you cannot achieve the same friction, power.
So hopefully they don't bleed through today, and we'll see that.
Yes, 1 minute 50 to go on the clock.
And we start with the first people.
Hopefully there's going to be a little bit of a breeze going through, because right now it's pretty humid and it feels really warm. Although we're in the shade, the conditions could be a little bit better, to be honest, a bit friendlier. And yes, we had 12 competitors for the men, as we mentioned, and 11 for the women. And each one has got 4 minutes to complete the boulders, and the rules are easy. The more tops that you get, the better your score will look like. And if we would have to separate them, it would go to zones. If we still would have to separate them, it would be to the number of attempts that it took to get onto the top. And if there is not a clear winner, then it would be to the number of attempts that we get on the zones. And now we're having here Lene Schritt-Wisser on the camera, who was in the in the Master. She was pretty strong in the field.
She was pretty strong, and she couldn't qualify for finals, but it was very close. And yeah, she competed in the last few days. She's one of the strongest young ones from us. And yeah.
And now we will see her little brother.
Julian Schritt-Wisser is climbing. I think he's a little bit later. All of our athletes compete later, but they have a very strong field coming pretty soon.
He's coming 6th out and qualified as 7th.
So they have 4 minutes. If the time is over, they need to stop immediately. So if they top the boulder 2 seconds later, it doesn't count. So they really just have their 4 minutes. they will maybe run out a little bit earlier, so they have their time. And now we see the first competitor.
Before we start, Thomas, I have to ask you, same as everybody, where is your money on? Who's going to win?
Oh, it's a hard question. Of course, I hope athletes from our state will be good. I know Pardon Max a little bit. He's so strong in rocks, so he's one of the favorites, but also Ushnik Timo. And yeah, I hope Ushnik Timo, Julian Schrittwieser and Pardon Max. I think I count on them three, but we'll see, maybe with an underdog.
And then we have Boris Baldizar rushing the first hold. There is meant to be coming a female athlete, but we have been seeing some judges running around.
We don't have a female. I think we don't have one because there are just 11 and 12 boys.
I think they changed the format because
they
were going to be coming at the beginning, but maybe they changed it and now there's only Boris coming on his own. But
yeah, we'll see. In the morning we had the same boxes and they changed the holds a little bit, so we'll see how they manage. Whoa.
And the men are starting with a very much overhanging part of the wall. It's a slab on the very right side, and as long as you, the more you move to the left, the more overhanging it gets.
Yeah,
that's a 30-degree overhanging wall, and it's looking pretty similar to the same that the men were having at the beginning, the grown-ups. Can you tell us a little bit about this boulder? What do you think is the solution for this boulder, Thomas?
Yeah, he's trying to go to the second hold on the box, and maybe the bigger ones or the larger competitors will just hold the first one and don't have to go to the next immediately. But we'll see if he's also managing to do it.
Are you more fan of dynamic moves or more?
I love dynamic moves. I'm not that a slap guy, but I love dynamic jumps. And I think we'll see some of them today. So there are many coordinative movements today, the last few days, and that makes the huge competitions. Yeah, he's trying hard. Also always going to the second one.
What do you think he could be doing better in order to come better to the holder and stick on the wall?
It's a good question. It looks like that he loses a little bit of the tension with the feet and doesn't go directly to the second hold. Doesn't look like he is trying hard to go to the next move, but we'll see. Maybe he can manage to do it like this.
Do you see a lot of difference between the U12 and U14? We were saying yesterday that the U14 were already much better prepared athletes who would make every single try count. Is there also such a big difference between U14 and U16?
It's even bigger. Every youth is going bigger and bigger. So, for example, the U12, you may have seen yesterday in the live stream, some of them even start to compete. So they don't know the rules all the time. They forget. Of course, they're 10-year-olds, so they have fun, and sometimes it's a little bit too big for them. So they try like 20 times, and there's always slip. And U14 is going to be a little bit more professional. And it was close, but he could hold the first hold a little bit longer for now. I think it's manageable to just hold the first one and then jump to the next, but we'll see that later. And as you can see, the U16, some of the U16 are already so professional. So some of them already have sponsors, some of them already compete at some point at international championships. And yeah, so we'll see some spectacular beta today and also tactics.
And we see here
going all in,
running across the stage.
Now we have two competitors in the field.
Yes, Scarlett Valentina is on boulder number 1, starting with the slab on the very far right of the stage, and just came across Katarina Sauerwein, a little bit of fruit, refreshing fruit. She's the national trainer for youth and adults, so she's coaching a lot of people in Innsbruck and always is going as a coach on international events for youth and the adults. Yes. A previous international competitor also, who did many competitions.
Yeah, she's like a power horse, and she has so much energy and putting so much energy in this in the competition field. Also in Austria, she's trying to build up a little bit, also for the youth. And yeah, it's sometimes work with her, and it's wonderful to work with her.
Really nice to hear this between trainers. And here we have the young Scarlett Valentina. Not quite getting the zone. Remember that you have to utilize the hold zone for moving or for staying on the wall. And if you just dab it or touch it or caress it, then you will not be awarded a zone.
Yeah, you really have to use it. It's okay if you just change the feet at some point, but you really have to do something with it. We see Marco now.
He went for a different solution. Like, looked like he wanted to stop at the first volume with the left, and then go to the shoulder press with the right. But
looks like a foothold actually. But yet, you know, the boys are so strong. They hold everything. It's very slippery. We have to say that the boxes are pretty pretty big, but still don't underestimate the overhang. So it's pretty overhanging, also, although it doesn't look like it. And the boxes are not that good, so the starting position is just for the thumbs, and for the holding position it's most just the box.
Yes, there's a little screw-on hold on the lower part of the start of the M1 for the hand, but it's only giving a little bit of like support for the thumbs. And 1 minute 10 to 7 for these two athletes. No zones and no tops so far.
Yeah.
Especially the stronger athletes, or the ones who qualified better, will come later. So hopefully we're going to be able to see more tops and more zones as the athletes progress.
Yeah, here you can see that the starting position is pretty hard for the boys. So Marco needed some tries just to hold the position. There you can see how much tension it needs, that it just hold the hold.
Yes, as soon as you release to the right with the right hand, your whole body just flies out of the wall, and you just really have to act really fast. Do you think he is one of the shorter competitors and therefore is having a little bit more trouble holding the tension?
I have to say, at some point, some people really have a disadvantage, but many can do something different. They trick a little bit, and some can jump really, really well. And I have to say, of course, it's a disadvantage, but you also see like Laura Gora in World Cups, so
yes,
it's focus on what you can.
Yes, utilize your body the best way.
Yeah, I mean, of course, as you could see at the Masters, there are some positions really hard to hold. And if you're long or at some point, it can be an advantage. But at the other hand, you just need more tension, you just need more power to go over your hand.
Yes.
Now
that
we
was
have
the replay of the young athlete Valentina Scarlett, who didn't manage to get a zone yet. And here will join us now Claire Schweiger and Noah Reichmann from Vorarlberg. We also will get a little bit of a view from boulder number 2. What is your thoughts into this?
Yeah, it's going. So it looks like going double and pretty. Getting higher with your body, so you can hold both holds pretty good. And I think then it looks pretty okay. I think they could drop the second boulder, so it looks good. But we'll see that later. And yeah, he has the zone. Little crimp. Close.
Do you think that maybe he has to toe hook the left lower big egg-shaped hold and go with the left to the next crimp? Because now he tried to put his right foot really high up, and that looked really, really powerful and really exhausting, to be honest.
I think it's possible, but I think he's in a good way. Now we can see on the slab, you see this big white eggs, I would say, and they look big and huge and good, but it's strange to stand on them.
They're very flat, right?
Yeah, they're very flat. And I think most of the competitors never have competed on these holds, so everything is new for them. And that's also one thing a competitor has to cope with, so that they have new holds in their hands, new shapes, and they also have to use them in the right way. So it's getting harder every year, also for the youth, as you can see here. But that's the thing, they have to cope. They don't have to just climb they really have to be athletes. They have to cope with the situation, with the stress, and also with the holds, with the time. It's getting more intense every year.
How, because many people will not probably understand what the difference is between being familiar with the hold or not being familiar. Maybe you can explain or stress a little bit the point, why is this such a difference to have a new hold compared to an old hold that you already know?
With the development of climbing holds, it's pretty important that you know some type of holds, because otherwise you don't know how to grab them. So if you, for example, the white on the right, yes, you have this white X, and I would say it's strange to hold them for the first time because you haven't touched them once before. And if you have some competitors already training on that hold, they already know how to use them, how to use your body in this position. And the best example is for Tokyo now, for the Olympic Games. They had completely new holds, and you could buy them. So most of the athletes or the governments behind them, they bought the whole sets, so the athletes could train on the holds, so they are getting used to the holds.
All right, that sounds like a pretty good explanation. And yeah, if you're an athlete and your gym does not have those holds, then you're gonna have a really big disadvantage. So,
but the best still, they can train on crimps, and some just can hold every hold.
Yeah, we saw some people like Alberto Gines, who just won the Olympics, and he was explaining, you know, he has to travel 4 hours in order to be able to practice speed climbing.
Really?
Yes, he was.
Wow, that's
if
tense.
you're having to try every single time 4 hours, then the hours that you can practice are just going to be a lot less than your competitors, and you're going to have a big disadvantage. So important for every single country to make sure that they have the installations that the athletes need.
Now you can see 3 seconds, and no.
He got awarded the zone on her second try, so he's now leading the scoreboard. And so far, also another zone for Claire Schweiger on the second attempt.
Exactly, she had the zone. And
now we have Chiara Alcoya and Andreas Summerer from Innsbruck.
So now we see the second ball of the girls the first time. Looks like a jump, run into.
Yeah, so Anja,
close.
The Slovenian route setter for the youth, trying it, and it looked amazing. Quite a flashy move, looking really, really cool.
Yeah.
And technically the upper part is meant to be a little bit harder, a bit more physical, but let's hope that these athletes can do it. And now we get a really good shot out of it.
Close.
She was getting a lot of height. Maybe you can explain the audience who might not be able to understand why it's important to come with enough height into those holds.
You mean why it's important to get a little bit higher? Yeah, because the holds are pretty bad, and if your body is too far away from the wall, you won't hold the holds. So you get out of the wall, and your hands won't get the holds in the best position, and it just slip off it. And if you're in the wall or staying with your body, if you're most of the parts of your body a little bit more into the wall, it's easier to hold the holds and not slip off it.
And then we see a replay of the young athlete, Claire.
Yeah, it looks promising.
That was Valentina Scarlett flying complete out. But it looks promising. She still has enough time, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, we have.
And now she held
close.
it. She needs some kind of opposition with her feet, because it looks like a pretty vertical hold. So you really need to create a position.
Now we can see the second bowler. Marco is doing the first move. At the first bowler, we unfortunately haven't seen any zone yet. Ooh!
And there we see Valentina Scarlett.
On the first hold.
The highest anybody has been.
Yeah, and that is the zone. That is the zone. She used it. I think she will get the zone for this. Yeah.
And maybe you can tell us a little bit about the training that these athletes are having to deal with. How many days a week does an athlete of this age has to train?
It depends a little bit how the infrastructure is going. So at some points they train like 4 to 5 times a week with training, and it's like 14 euro, 15 euro. Some train a little bit more. Sometimes it's if they train 3 days or 4 days on a training camp, then they have 2 days rest. But most of the athletes should train like antagonistic training. Some of them also do a lot of walking, a lot of cycling, or going to the mountain at our point. Yeah, so it depends a little bit of the infrastructure of every gym. But as I know from these guys, they train like 4 to 5 times per week by now. Some more, some less. I don't know how the training regime is in other countries.
Yeah, let's see how.
Close.
Scarlett Valentina was looking really, really close. This seems like a lot of commitment when it comes to climbing, and you have to combine it with school, you have to combine it with friends, and they have to be quite disciplined in order to be able to combine all of this.
Yeah. So most of the people don't know what's standing behind this. So we have the athletes training a lot. For most of them, there's just school and climbing. Most of them don't even have time beside of that. Homework, school, climbing, homework, school, climbing, and climbing trips and competitions. So they don't have time for anything else at some point. Some already go to sports schools, so they combine their sport in their school, and so they can train in the morning, for example. We have that in Austria. We have the possibilities in many cities to do that, and there is always somebody standing behind them. Could it be parents who like drive every day for hours to the training gym? So, could be the friends or other relatives. There is a good trainer behind them, trying to coach them in the best possible way. Or other helpers who just belay them. So for example, I know parents of us just belay like 10 hours per week. They just stand there and belay their children.
That means the parents also have to learn how to belay them, because I believe most of them probably don't know, right?
Yeah, most of them already know how to belay. They do it at some point. And so yeah, without the system, without parents, without super motivating athletes, this all couldn't be possible.
And here we see Noah
he goes, and
flying out of the top hold. But that is looking really promising for this young athlete, with still has 2 minutes 30. And we're also seeing a little of a first glance on the boulder number 3.
From the boys.
Boulder from Hungary, it's on boulder number 3. It looks like a pretty savage boulder, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks hard. I think he has to go in the, how do you call it?
Press?
Yeah, press. You go in the press with the left hand, and it looks pretty exhausting. Now in the first boulder of the female, we can see the first competitor trying hard to change the feet. And the first for the boys, you can see an Israeli boy. The example is really intense. Here you can see he's like the same age than others, but he's a little bit bigger, so he may have a little bit of advantage to hold the first hold. But still, everybody's trying hard, so there are no excuses.
Yeah, everybody gets the same conditions and the same rules, so they have to be able to perform the best they can.
Exactly. Yeah, now we can see a zone.
That's looking pretty good.
He's really close. He's really close. And can he hold the top?
Hungarian athlete looking really promising. A lot of tension
and
going.
Yeah.
And he gets a green light from the referee.
Now we have the second bowler. And can he top the route?
That was our first stop.
Close.
And again,
this slope
falling down.
Bad.
Noah Rashman, yes, he looks demolished.
Now on the first move, on the first bowler we see
a little bit more light coming out.
And
holding onto the wall.
He's trying hard.
Alon Nevo.
He loses it before the zone. What a pity.
I mean, it's pretty heartbreaking when you see athletes just getting really high up on the wall and then just falling down just next to a top or next to a zone. You really want the best for them. Yeah. And we have seen in these competitions many athletes flying out of the top.
Yeah, it's very dramatic when you see a boy or a girl trying the first boulder, not getting the top, or flying off the top of the first boulder, and sometimes they can manage to hold their anger, and sometimes they just lose it.
And we
the
have
competition is
20
over.
seconds here for the female athlete, and she's doing really good progression on boulder number 1.
First boulder, she's trying hard. There are just 10 seconds left. Can she do it?
I really hope she's not going to be timed out.
She's very close. 5, 3, 2, 1, and
falls down in the last second. Lena Schmidwisser had a similar situation, but the only difference is she tops it out on the last second, and she was out for 1 second.
She was out of 1 second, and she didn't get the top.
And that's a replay of the young athlete not being able to.
Now we have Julian Schrittwieser.
Yes, this is the local hero.
Yes, he's a little bit stronger. I hope he can manage to do the first 2 moves. I think he's not able to hold the first without just the whole first one. I think he has to jump, but we'll see how he figures that out.
Exactly, and we have Elina Vettori from Tyrol on the boulder number 1.
And also Marco on the boulder number 3. He is one of the strongest Austrian climbers already in the national team. And
wearing proud the t-shirt of the Austrian team.
Yeah.
With how many years of old can somebody, an athlete qualified for the national team, Thomas?
I think at the moment it's, I think 13 or 14. I don't know exactly the age. But at the U16, you can go into the national team if you're good enough. And with the U14, just the the best can come into national team. So if you win everything at the U14, so under 14, and you be able to manage to go to the national team.
Have already been seeing some of the athletes like Christian Leiner. He's also on the national team.
No, he's not yet.
Okay.
He's, hopefully he will go in 1 or 2 years. I don't know. He managed to do all the scores this year, but it's a decision from the federation if he can manage to go to the national team this year.
Well, let's hope the best, but let's stay here with the
closeness. We see now the third boulder.
Julian Schrittwieser.
Yeah, the left.
You said that on the third boulder he almost got it. Are you talking about this underclink?
I talked about the female third boulder. I think it's the first time we see that.
That's true.
And Julian is trying really hard, but the moves are very far, so it's hard for him to stay on the right hand.
And looking like a cross step.
Yeah,
it's really, really good for Elina.
She still has time, so she can climb a little bit slower.
Her friends are cheering very well.
Close.
And
she could.
And we see Chiara looking really strong here on boulder number 2 for the female.
Boulder number 2, she looks good and
flies off the top. That was looking really, really close.
Yeah, it was close. I think she can manage it, but she lost it in the last few seconds.
Yeah, maybe we can have a little bit of a closer shot on the boulder number 3 for the female, and you can run us a little bit through it. It looks like a really physical boulder on the women's side. Yeah,
we have F3. I think there are really big holes, but the distance is a little bit far, and all holes are on the right side. So we have this big hold. It looks okay, but the foothold is not that good, and you have to hold the tension. So you get to the zone, and then if you go up, the holds are pretty good, pretty big, but not that good. So
okay.
So we have 20 seconds left, and we have seen. On the slab. Oh, she was very close on the top.
So far, no tops for the female.
No tops for the female.
The best one has got zone on the first try, and leading on the man, Boris Potzilla, who got a top of B3.
With one top.
Leading the field with one top and 2 zones on 4 tries. We're going to get here Peralvo Stockman-Kai. And on the women, we have Franziska Benetik.
You can see, you may see some of these competitors in the next few years in the youth camps, at the international youth camps. At some point, I could probably at some World Cups, but it's they still have time for that.
Yeah, I guess you have to prepare them for the future World Cups.
Yeah.
What is the biggest difference, or how do you if you can share this information. I don't know as a trainer.
Sure.
But what is your tactic when it comes to prepare those athletes? What are you trying to implement? Are you trying to implement more strength, or that they couldn't move properly on really complex movement, that they understand movement? What is your take into that?
And I think the most important thing is that at first, of course, they need to learn to climb. So they need to know to climb. They need to know the holds. They need to know how to move on boxes, for example. And so with the sports changing, that's quick. I think it's important that all the athletes are going to be athletes. So they're not just climbers, because we know some people. We have really close on. Ooh, too close. Yeah, we have. At some point in some years ago, you just needed to crimp hard and do like 60 moves, lead climbs, and then your world championship.
Yeah.
But at now, you really have to be good at everything. You need to be good at everything: your tactics, your technique, and also your mental ability to cope with every changing situation is really important. As you can see, for example, Adam Ondra is one of the best examples. Of course, he's one of the guys. Yeah, we have a top now.
And we have
the
the
number one.
first top of Franziska Benedict, who just managed to climb the first female top.
She's from Corinthia.
That's
the
going to
states under Syria.
put her really good. She just flashed this boulder,
Yeah.
which makes it more impressive because nobody else topped it.
Super strong, because nobody else could do it by now.
So yeah, sorry to cut you out. You wanted to say that you have to be the best at everything.
Yeah. You have to really understand that competition climbing is not just you have your weaknesses and that's okay, and you have your strengths. It's just concentrate on the strengths. You just need to. In the future, I think you need to do everything. You need to be good at everything, and your weaknesses shouldn't be that big. So when you see these athletes, it's like a venue for a World Cup. And they already compete at this level, at this venue at the age of 14.
Yes, I mean, I haven't seen already some competitions, professional competitions. It looks the real thing. Like it doesn't get much more real than this.
Totally. And the boulders and the holds, and
the audience, the venue itself, the wall. It's a pretty realistic. And we're seeing the first stop on boulder number 2, and the Israelis looking so expressive and cheering really well.
So strong.
Really strong. Alon Nevo pulling a top on boulder number 2.
Yeah, and I think the also important thing for development of athletes is at first you need to climb, and then you need to start and learn to climb, and then you need to start and learn to compete. So I sometimes even think that's something different, because competing and climbing at some point change so drastically. Because if you climb, projecting something, like for 1 hour, and you do that, it's good and strong, but take 4 minutes, take 3 tries, and figure out new moves in 3 tries. It's something completely different. And we've seen
Sala really close.
She can manage
and there
to
she
up.
goes with her first stop on boulder number 2.
Yeah, and we see the crowd is going bigger.
Yes, the people who are walking by, friends, coaches, they're coming by to cheer the peeps.
Yeah.
And Julian is going to try now boulder number 2, and the next athletes will be joining the mats. On the female, we have...
On the boys, that's Owen. Owen is from Upper Austria. It's also another state. He competed in Austrian Cups in the last few years. He was really strong.
And on the women, we have Sarah Rosenauer.
It's Sarah Rosenauer. She's training in Vienna. She's one of the Viennese competitors. Yeah, and Julian is going strong in the crimps.
Looking really good here.
Yeah, strong. Close.
Mountain Ferry looking like really good at Trent on the first go.
Now we have the first view of the fourth boulder of the female. Looks crimpy. Looks good.
Yes, more holds. I guess for younger athletes that is not so much of a problem, right? Because they have smaller hands. And then we see one of the judges telling the athlete she has to get a proper start before she moves further. That means there's 4 pieces of tape. You have to represent 4 limbs, and you have to control per each piece of tape a limb. You can decide how you do it. There is 2 on the upper one, 2 on the lower one, so you could start 1 leg and 1 foot on the 1 leg and 1 hand on the left, and 1 leg on 1 hand on the right. Or you can start with 2 feet at the bottom and 2 hands at the top. This is up to you. but you have to control it in order to keep it going. And that's why she told off. She didn't do a proper start, so she has to calm down. She gets an attempt, and she has to start again from the beginning. Yes, but going to the question before, yeah, it's not so much of a deal when it comes to young athletes, especially at this age, because they have smaller hands.
Yeah.
But when it comes to slopers and big holds,
It's much harder for them.
it's much harder.
It's funny to train on slopers because the crimps I always underestimate them, and with slopers they just can't have any hold.
And looking
we have
really
Julian now,
promising
really
here,
going
Julian.
close, really going close, really close.
And he just managed to get a cheeky knee bar on the upper cheetah hold. And
He's
looked
beta king.
really strong on this sloper. I mean, by no means is good.
Pretty far up there. And we see now Owen, he's also struggling with the first move, so maybe it's a little bit too hard. It looks very slippery.
Yeah, we have not seen a lot of no zone so far on the first boulder.
There's no zone on the first boulder. But we still have some very strong competitors going.
Exactly.
So, for example, Ushnik Timo is, I think, one of the strongest. He already won the championship, the European Championship in Leeds this year, and she is really, really strong.
Yeah, he was this year winning in Perm, if I believe.
Going big, Julian again, and with
Elina and Julian. Elina staying on boulder number 2.
And she's close, she's close, she's close.
She's trying to block with her right foot.
Going bigger. Oh, and twisting, maybe not. We'll see. And
she looks like having just
so close.
2 centimeters, and she's there. And that's a good jerk.
Yeah, we have a...
But she doesn't give it another go.
At F4. Looks hard.
That looks really, really close. I wonder why she's not taking another go. She would have time, I believe. And there we see Julian. I think time is going to be a little bit of an issue for him, but let's see if he can do it.
9 seconds left. Can he manage to do it?
He will have to really jump for it.
4, 3, 2. No.
And he looks a little bit disappointed.
Oh,
he got a little bit nervous because of the beeps.
So close.
He looked so stable.
So close.
And suddenly got a little bit clumsy and fell down.
Really, really good try.
Well, he really got his own, so...
Yeah, that's important. Now the field is completely full.
We're seeing now Max Beton, the really famous brother of Oriane Beton. Really promising athlete, such young age.
Yeah.
And Karla Strinsky on boulder number 1 on the female side.
He's trying hard, and
he's looking so much comfortable than
smaller,
any other
but
athlete.
Still can hold it. It's so good. Strong.
He's looking on his own leg.
The first one to go to the zone. Yeah,
utilizing his whole body to perfection.
So strong, and he's going up. She's going up. Come on, come on. Oh, that was so close.
That looked like a pretty brutal fall into the shoulder, but he just got up, so we see that he's all right. But that was a really awesome first try on boulder number 1. And nobody ever got to the zone, and he's just almost at the top, controlling the top. And here, Alain Neveu going on boulder number 3 at the men.
Yeah. And he tops it.
Very proud effort. Second top for him, I believe. He first top, second and third boulder. Also being on the taller side of the competitors probably had a lot easier to keep the tension.
Still strong. They're all trying hard. I think the rule setters did a good job here. And every competitor has to fight and can move at some point.
And
yeah, we have a zone here on boulder number 4.
For the
close.
Nice out.
On boulder number 3 for the female. Yeah, the black ones a little bit too.
No top so far. We have had
so
2 zones, but no top so far. And that's the replay. The hold where she's going is pretty poor hold. It's really slopey.
Yeah.
So you have to keep a lot of tension between both hands. And we have not seen a lot of progress also on the men's 4 slab. I'm delighted to see what the other athletes have to do. Dynamic move for the female 4 to a crimp. Secures the zone hold. And doesn't quite hold. And
We have a good zone on boulder number, I think it's boulder number 2 for a female. And Max Badon is already on up at the wall. Can he manage to do it by now? He's twisting his feet, going up to the next.
it's looking so composed. And
Yeah,
there's
yeah, and he can hold the hold. Can it? Yes, and he.
And the first stop of boulder number 1 by
Gone.
Max Beton, who looked dominating every single move.
Now if again a boulder number 2 and a female.
That is a perfect start from
Yeah,
Max Beton, who just did it.
totally. He's the only one who could do the zone and who could do the top at boulder number 1.
He got in his 4th try, so he's sitting 2nd and 3rd position. The first position is for Alon Nevo with only 2 tops, followed by Boris Boltina with 1 top and 2 zones. Of course, Max has only been on to 1 boulder, so we're getting a little bit of glance now from Timo Ushnik,
Yeah,
the
boulder number
Corinthian.
1. Julian on boulder number 3.
And
We have now
Berman Katarina,
Yeah.
the local hero also, trained by Thomas Kolbacher, sitting next to me, helping you guys have a little bit of an insight for what it is to have a youth team and to coach a youth athlete. Very interesting insights from Thomas Kolbacher. And so far, we're seeing some tops. Not everybody's flashing it. It's pretty good. I think there's
Looks good, yeah.
a lot of better round that
There's
they had in the
still
morning.
some people out there. So at boulder number 1 we have Timo Ushnik
Timo looking so strong.
trying to do it statically, and to do it easily. He can do the zone.
People are going crazy. And the
Ah,
foot slips out. But he still has almost 3 minutes.
with a top on number 4 and the top on number 4. Really strong in the scrims.
And Chiara Alguer.
And the top on number 2. Top on
And the first top of boulder number 2 in the men also.
That's not the first, I think.
Second
that
top,
was-
sorry.
I think there has been some, but not many. And Julian is going again.
If Julian wants to be in the lead, he needs to make some tops. Didn't get a top on boulder number 1, didn't get a top on boulder number 2. So he's really renowned to be good with his feet. So
Yeah.
I guess his laps would suit him really, really well. And he's moving really well normally. And Timo looking really
Again.
strong on the upper part of the wall.
And he's on the top.
Controls it.
Wow.
Same as
And
Max.
managed to do the top.
And it's a top for Nico Oshnik, who I believe did it in less tries, I think in 3 tries.
We see now Timo
2
Schnick-
tries.
2 tries, yeah, 2 tries. So really,
the
really strong.
Austrian.
Now we have again
From
Julian
Corinthia.
trying hard on boulder number 3. Yeah, strong. Sarah also competing at F2. The jump was easy.
Yeah, she looked really
Continues.
dominating on the jump. Let's see if she can get the upper part.
Yeah.
I guess you have to go a little bit more dynamically. I think the route setters didn't plan to go so statically. And there you are, atop for
And
Sarah Rosenauer, completing boulder number 2 for the female. The people are enjoying it, and here we see Katharina Bergman, the local Graz hero.
She's trying hard. She's on the zone by now. She still has time. She still has time.
We have only seen a top on this boulder, so a top here would put her in a really good position.
Close.
And I don't think she's going to have enough time for this boulder, but maybe she gets another try. Hopefully she will have it. I mean, these athletes, once they have been up there, they go so fast.
Yeah.
20 seconds to go.
20 seconds, that's not that much.
And Katerina, I think it's going to be timed out. Managed to touch the top, but doesn't quite get it with both hands. And now we're going to have the second Austrian athlete from Graz in the women's.
Sophia Wender in the first boulder.
And we have Tome Jakovic on the boulder number 1 in the men.
Sophia Wender. Einen Riesenapplaus für die Lokalmatadorin.
Competition is in full swing.
Yes, definitely a lot going on. A lot more people here.
People are coming.
And there's a little bit of a breeze going around, so the conditions are definitely a lot better than when we started. It's not so much of a heat wave. And there we see Sophia Wender, who just came from a hard, severe injury, as Thomas mentioned.
Yeah.
Full
Finger
power and really climbing really well. She qualified second on the morning, and now she's here trying to get the most of the tops. Let's see what she can do.
We have again Max Perdon on boulder number 2. He's trying hard already on the zone. Going to the, just the last move is missing. And can he hold it? And it's,
and it's a top.
Easy.
2 tops already from Max Perdon.
So strong.
He's looking really, really strong. Max Perdon just jumped into first position with 2 tops in 6 tries. And here we see Dara
Lasinski. So Max Perdon is now leading in first position with 2 tops, 1 in 4 tries and 1 in 2 tries. And we have now Sarah Rosenauer leading with 2 tops, 1 in 2 tries and again 1 in 4 tries.
That's really nice to see, because the women had such a hard, tough qualification round. And to see some on tops, you feel that you can climb better. I guess sometimes it has to be a little bit discouraging to not be able to see so many tops, although you feel maybe you're climbing well, and it's nice to feel the tops and to see some tops.
I don't know if at the first boulder some of the girls are trying just to hold the hold and not moving. I can't think that the
lens.
Sorry?
The lens?
Or that they're not getting the zone for that, because some are just trying to touch it but not use it. So with the new reglement, I think they won't get the zone with this.
If the judges are doing their job properly, then you're right. They should not be awarded the zone hold. They have to utilize it in order to move.
Yeah, exactly.
And 1 minute 15 still to go, and you can still see the people. They're coming, and it's slowly filling up. Some famous faces, like some of the coaches we were saying before.
And we have the first touch of the top hole at boulder number 4.
It's the closest we have seen a top, and there you are.
I think it's
such an expressive Alon level.
I think 2 tops is really, really strong.
I really hope that they didn't do it too easy, but so far 3 tops for Alon level.
Yeah, I think it has.
Our scores has to be actualized, but we have to just seen it.
Yeah, he has 3 tops.
And there you are.
So 3 tops in 9 tries and 3 tops, 3 zones in 9 tries. Max Perdon, 2 tops
and 2 zones in 6 tries.
Yeah.
And 3rd position for Boris Baltitsla with 1 top and 2 zones in 4 tries. And there goes again the young athlete from Graz. Sophia not quite making progress on the slab. And here come our last athletes, Anna Bolius and Bojan Kirov, who qualified as first, and therefore they're coming the last ones. And there's a replay flying off the top from Sala Peklak. Every single athlete choosing to brush, they already have more experience. They know that some of these holds that they are collapsing a lot, they're collecting a lot of chalk, and therefore they're losing a lot of friction. And Julian looking really, really good on his first try on the slab.
Yeah. Last boulder.
As we said, he's one of the really technical climbers. And Anya on boulder number 2. Sorry, Katharina Bergman on boulder number 2.
Ah, close. Really, really close.
And Timo looking so dominating.
And can he do it? Can he do it? And he holds top and he...
And if I'm correct, I believe this is a flash by Timo.
Owen on boulder number 3. He's trying hard to get to the top.
Strong field of Austrian climbers.
And he can hold the top hold.
That was so smart. You could see his hips were trying to push him out.
Yeah.
Slide him to the left and then just could get himself his center of gravity on top of the
really
feet.
Close on the top. Ah, close. And
Julian flying out.
On boulder number 4. He's on the top hold. And he tops it.
No problem for Julian. Schrittwisser.
Really strong.
Which will be sitting on 4th position, I believe. We have to be actualized.
I think she's now
he just jumped into 5th position.
And we still have some guys competing now with Sarah on boulder number 3.
There's not going to be enough for the local hero from Graz.
Yeah. And she's really...
almost the first stop of boulder number 3.
I think the top hold is bad.
It looks like a jog from here, but maybe we can see a close shot of it.
Yeah, with a good try of Katharina Bergman now. On boulder number 2. Also trying
really
hard
good.
on boulder number 4.
It's a covered hold, so you have to be really precise when you jump in and go dynamically. That's exactly what the route setters implant. That you cannot just reach up to it on a static position, you have to fly to it. And therefore you have to be precise with your left hand when you come into the hold. It's a good hold by any means, but because it's covered, you have to be really precise. And there you will see Katharina pressing the hold. And Anna Bolius.
Boulder number 1, she's close.
Really, really good.
Really close on boulder number 1.
She needs to make pressure.
And
wow. That was really close to flying out, but managed to secure the top. And Katharina going again on 2nd boulder of her rotation.
Sarah on boulder number 3.
Do you reflect the competitions that the athletes have been having? Do you record and then replay those?
Most of the international and national comps, we try to make videos out of it. And I advise every athlete to look at them, look through what their mistakes are. At some point, and if we have the time, we also talk it through. So if there were made mistakes, tactical mistakes, because many of them do at some point that you have some tactical mistakes, for like brushing too less or chalking too much, chalking too less. Trying, like having a fitness bowler, you just have some tries. And if you then try 6 or 7 times, we just see that there is no possible way that you can do it.
Yeah.
And so
I believe
I'll have to reflect that, of course.
Managing time, you only have 4 minutes. You have to be able to manage it the best you can. And I believe that is a really important thing, actually. When you're brushing for 2 minutes, maybe you should climb a little bit more than brush.
Yeah, totally. And of course, many of them already know how to do anything. At some point, some just make small mistakes because they're just stressed. So most of the athletes have to get used to the adrenaline with the stress and still try their best.
Yes, and we saw now Max Beton on boulder number 3 falling out. He's climbing really well, but not so fast, not topping the boulders so fast. And therefore we're seeing some of the athletes like Nico Oshnik, Timo Oshnik, sorry, coming a little bit higher on the scoreboard.
Seen that boy 2 days ago. Yeah, with a good try on boulder number 3.
Yes. Tona Jakovic.
She's close, and she can make the top.
And the first stop on boulder number 3 for the women.
Yeah, super strong.
Looking really, really strong. Proud effort from this young athlete, Karla Zrinski.
Yeah.
Are we going to see the top of the man? No problem. Looks so comfortable with the heel hook there. Tome Jakovic.
And Max Perdon trying hard in ball number 3. He's difficulties with the starting position, as Julian already did.
He's one of the shorter athletes. So probably he's going to have a lot more hard trouble than, for example, we saw on Alon Nevo, where he could actually stay pretty well. Or on Owen.
We have Sophia. So
Sophia
close.
flying out.
But she still has time. Now a good try in boulder number 4.
We also see on the left part of men's 3, there is a black tape, and that is for the female boulder 3, that they don't use the volume to step on them to create a position. It's pretty important, because if they touch it, they would have to go all the way down. They're not allowed to touch that volume. And Sophia giving another try.
Again on boulder number 2. She's trying hard to go up. Can she manage to do it by now?
That was a good shot.
And she's trying hard, and
yes!
Oh, nice.
Impressive from Sophia.
Strong.
Coming stronger than ever this year after hard injury. It's really
getting back strong.
Really nice to see athletes getting determination and to get sacked for competitions.
Was a little bit, actually, for the training, it was a little bit hard, because at February we started again with training, and in winter with her, and in February she again injured herself.
Oh wow!
The triceps, and she at the bouldering training I did, and she again had like 3 weeks of climbing, and in February and March all the simulations have been held.
Wow.
So she again lost everything at some point. But she could show, so she wasn't able actually to compete at the simulations for bouldering, and she was not that strong at that point. But she could manage to be good at the simulations for lead climbing, and so she was allowed to compete there. A very close top. It was no top. He
didn't get awarded. He fell on the last second. And that was an almost.
Did you see that? He's himself just said no, that's no top.
Yeah, he checked with the judge just in case, but we saw it. There was a really nice split shot from both climbers, thanks to the camera team. We're behind, managing everything. It's
now
really
we have
nice.
the 2 top, the best. So Srinsky, I think what's the first name? Srinsky Kala is on position number 1 with 2 tops and 3 tones and 4 tries. 2 tops, 3 zones, and for the boys we have in first position 3 tops, 3 zones in 9 tries.
And unfortunately, Max Beton didn't get a zone or a top from boulder number 3.
So he's in position number 4, and Timo is in position number 3, and position number 2 is Owen.
The difference between Timo, Owen, and Beton is basically Owen did it in 2 tries, Timo did it in 3, and Max did it in 6.
Yeah.
And another top for the young athlete.
Boulder number 2, there was, I think he's from Bulgaria.
Boyan.
Really strong. Now such a strong field out there.
There we see Timo Ushnik.
Timo is trying hard.
Getting the zone.
Really good. Trying hard. I think he's one of the best youth climbers we have in the national team by now.
That was really impressive, using his right foot
really strong,
in order for his whole body to be able to go through.
Yeah. And he managed to
And there's the top from Timo Ushnik.
I think he's now in first position.
And he just flashed boulder number 3, boulder number 2, and 2 tries on boulder number 1.
I think he's...
I believe in a few years we're going to see a battle of Ushniks fighting for the first place.
Totally. I think he managed to do, maybe he can manage a podium by now, but I'm not sure yet.
He's sitting in first position.
He's in first position. He is one of the favorites by now. And we have Katarina now on this zone. Trying hard, I think.
Not coming quite high enough in order to be able to hold the tension between both holds on the feet. And there we see Anna Polius on boulder number 2, launching for the jump.
Yeah,
wow, that was a perfect display of coordination. It's so nice when you see moves like this performed with such elegance as she just did.
And she's trying hard to go to the top. And can she manage to do it?
Yeah. We were both unsure.
That was close.
And there's the replay on the last second, activating the finger flexors. I'm really happy.
She is now on position number 3 with 2 tops.
Exactly.
But we still have some people left.
And Katharina Bergman going again on boulder number 3.
Yeah.
She did really well on boulder number 2. Hopefully we're going to be another top.
Good. It looks good. Yeah. Ooh,
she
close.
was just a few centimeters away of getting a top on boulder number 2.
Yeah.
Another top. Any
now
top
with
would
Sarah
be in a
on
really
the
good
boulder number
position.
4. Sarah Rosenauer. She's trying hard on the scrimps. She's really far.
Oh wow,
close.
That was really good mobility.
Yeah.
Of a leg.
Oh, we have Katharina Bergman again.
Getting a bit of applause from the people. Katharina
trying hard. 26 seconds left. I think she's out of energy. I think it's a little bit.
She's gonna give it another try.
Yeah, she's trying again. And Sarah again on the zone hold.
And now it's going to be for everything for
10
this athlete.
seconds left. So I think this round is done. 5, 3.
And on to the next rotation.
Yeah.
Max Beton will come into his last boulder, on boulder number 4. Slap. Training in Fontainebleau and having climbed AB in Fontainebleau. I guess this is going to be quite a ride for him.
Like with the age of 14?
Yes,
13?
he has 14 years old and already achieved 8C plus on lead.
Yeah.
And this year his best 8B on bouldering.
I think that's the future. As you can see with his sister.
Yes, and
the future athletes are so strong. Many of them actually compete as much as they can at a so young level, and they also are trying hard on rocks. So I think they twisted a little bit, and the age where you climb hard is it's getting so young, and all the 12 and 13-year-old international climbers are getting so strong, trying hard outdoors. Close. We have now
looking like a flash. He's going for a flash.
I think so.
It is a flash.
Max Perdon. So strong.
This is probably going to put him into first position.
I think Timo's.
And another top.
Another top at boulder number 4.
Very strong female athlete. There we get maybe a replay. Also boulder number 3 from the men.
Yeah, with the top.
That was Karl Strinsky.
Just Sophia out left.
And Max Beton gets in second place because Timo Oceanic got it on 4 tries, 3 tops, and he just got it on 7 tries. But it's still what a perfect performance. 3 tops, that's really good. Sophia looking really strong.
Just for Sophia. Trying hard.
And keeps the tension.
Yeah, she keeps the tension. Cheer up for Sophia. Yeah, she's close. Can she manage to do a hook? Yeah, come on. And jump, and come on.
And this is looking really good.
Yes.
Sophia looking so strong.
So strong.
I think probably one of my favorite athletes when it comes to youth team. Being a trainer in Blockhouse and in CC, she's always with a big smile and always really positive minded. Pretty something to learn about when it comes to climbing and attitude.
It's always fun with her to train. It's of course always fun to train with everybody of them, and they love climbing so much. So if you say no, you're not allowed to climb, they somewhat just start to cry. So it's lovely. You have so many motivated people out there. As you can see, they love the crowd, and everybody is just happy to compete here at some point. And yeah.
And there we see some of the people hydrating themselves. And those are the parents of Katharina Bergman. And there we see the replay of Katharina Bergman. There you are.
Yeah.
And leading the field is Strinsky. Leading the field on the first. Exactly, Strinsky Karla, thank you. followed by Rosanova with 2 tops and 2 zones.
Yeah.
And on third is Sofia Wender with 2 tops and 3 zones, but she didn't finish her rotation. So, yeah, let's see what goes on. And let's have a look at the men. On the lead in the field, we have Timo Ožnik with 3 tops with 4 attempts, followed by Max Berton with 3 tops also and 7 attempts. And third, but not least, Alon Nevo with 3 tops in 9 attempts. And we're slowly coming to the end with Timo Ožnik with his last ball of the rotation. Big bells ringing here. It's getting so loud. We have the church. It's 5:30 in the afternoon. We're gonna be followed later on in the evening at 8:15 with the Bloc Summer Masters, the female and the male. Big grand finale of this Bergquist Bloc Summer Graz, as Graz is being chosen the city of sports this year. And we have here Bojan Kidov stepping with his left foot on this little small brim. Looks really promising, and no problem for him.
Climbers are there. So we have Katharina Bergman on M4, we have Timo Ožnik on roller number male 4, and Anna Bolius on roller number 3. Hope the notes are not that loud for you to hear.
You can see a little bit the difference between both athletes. Fontainebleau being also really powerful but more technical, and Max having no trouble, and Martal being also technical but more on the powerful side, and Timo not having any problems with the overhanging. Different schools of climbing, different backgrounds, different tops, and there was Anna Bolius topping boulder number 3 on the female side. Pretty interesting how the athletes who are coming from different backgrounds, completely different skills and set of moves. And Timo Ožnik with 2 minutes remaining on her clock, and Katharina Bergman on boulder number 4, holding this time the zone, no problem. She has to bring the right foot, holding the grip, looks really promising for the Graz athlete.
And she can manage to hold the hold.
There is a top.
A top for Katharina Bergman. Finish up the competition for her. Very, really strong performance for her. She's now on position number 5 with the top.
Timo Ožnik looking really strong, trains in Klagenfurt in Boulderama.
We have Timo on boulder number 4. So strong.
Foot swap, palm press, looking really good.
He still has time. And
Now,
so close.
last moment, it was looking so close.
I think he can hold it just with holding the swing. He's trying now with the left foot, as you can see here.
It would have been easy to just hold it with one foot and
Yeah.
not left the foot on the left, because then you get a really strong bounder. And he's one of the powerful athletes, so I believe he can really hold that. But Timo Ožnik leading like the best score so far, 3 tops, 4 zones. And this is really nice to see actually when we get the separation of the athletes due to a zone more or a top more, and not just because of the attempts.
Yeah.
As we have here with the first position and Timo Ožnik, and I believe nobody can take his bowling for him.
I don't know actually, because we have Girov Bojan. He didn't do the first zone. I think he's at least in second position. And Jakobovic Toma had like 2 tops, 3
seconds. He's going to jump.
Yeah,
to it.
I think he won the competition.
I believe he so.
Yeah.
What an awesome performance from Timo Ožnik.
Yeah, totally. Now we have again Sofia Avenda on the crimpy boulder. I have to say, I think she's going good on this one because she loves crimps. she's like crimping hard on every move. So
She's
she
sitting
loves
currently on fourth position,
yes, fourth
but
position.
if she tops it, she would be automatically on second position. That's the best she can do because she already has got more tries
yeah.
than Zrinski, who qualified with 3 tops and 4 zones in 5 tries.
So 2 to 4 position 2 to 4 is possible by now. We'll see now with the boys.
Yes, we're having here Tomek Kalkovic, looking really strong also. Tomek could end up on second position before Max Breton because he would have
Yeah, and he easily
actually going to come back. Maybe he can end up first.
No, he's now on third position. Alan Novovic. He's now on second position, sorry.
Second position. In 5 tries.
He can't
Beat
outstand
Nico.
Timo. Now we have just Sophia again out of the mats. Out on the mats.
That was a really fast top.
Yeah,
the young
totally. Super strong.
Sophia taking a step back, looking really like a mature athlete. Getting props for that.
She's
athlete
having a good rest actually.
In her hometown of Graz, in front of her home crowd. Biggest event that Graz has ever seen.
Strong, and now she's going big. She's going big, holding the zone. Really strong, really strong.
Needs to bring her left
going
foot.
Up,
yes,
going up,
this time.
Going up, and going big to the top hold. And can she hold it? And she matches it. Super strong.
Yeah, gets a strong applause from her home audience.
Making a show.
What an awesome performance there we see.
Super strong.
Asking the crowd to go crazy.
Yeah. Now we just have Anna Bolles left. I also know that she's also super strong in crimps. So we'll see what's happening.
For sure, a top and a podium is for Sophia Avenda.
Yeah.
The order we still don't know, depending on what Anna Bolles does it. She has 2 tries. If she tops it, she will be first for sure, Anna Bolles, as the only athlete with 4 tops. If she gets a zone in 1 try, then she would be second, I believe, and in more than 3 tries, then she would remain third. So let's see what
it's getting
Anna Bolles.
Let's see what's happening.
She can change the whole score system with 1 try.
It's about the podium.
Or a top.
And the podium positions. I have to say Anna Bolles is really, really strong. Also a competitor in the national team. She's also training in Vienna. So she's one of the competitors in Vienna. And she's really, really young. So let's see what's in the future with her. I think we will see her in international comps a lot.
And that's a repetition from Anna Bolles in third boulder. There we see the local Katharina
Bergman standing on the position 5.
She managed to climb 1 top and 4 zones. And we see the actual winner, Timo Uznik. Let's see what Kidok Boyan can do.
Last competitors out there. Anna Bolles.
Last 4 minutes of this U16 competition.
Girov Boyan. I think he can't manage to go to the best position he can do is position number 3 because he has no zone on boulder number 1.
And he would have to do it before 4 tries if he wants to beat Max Breton.
Yeah. He has trying hard.
So we have 1. And Anna Bolles choosing to brush the holds.
Yeah, she has time.
Mature.
I think she knows she's strong in crimps. Just has to figure out the beta.
And we have seen most of the female athletes jump into the top hold instead of this last crimp in between the upper part. Probably is a wise decision as it's a much better hold.
And she's in the wall. She's in the wall. She's trying hard.
Holds the
He's
zone.
on the zone. And can you get the next one?
Drop knee.
Yeah, strong. And she's
Back step. Holds the middle one.
on the top, easy. It's like
And
easy.
she's the actual winner with the only woman having 4 tops.
Yeah,
Hannah Bolus just jumps
yeah,
into
she
the
won the
leaderboard.
competition by now.
And then we see Kira Boyan.
She's trying hard.
Looking really, really strong. Starting to shake. Doing an Elvis leg.
Ah, close.
Falls down, but he still has 2 minutes. Plenty of time for this young athlete.
By now, he's
From
in
Bulgaria.
position number 5. He still can go up. We'll see what's happening. Last 2 minutes of the competition. The crowd is getting bigger.
If you're with us, we're gonna finish in 2 minutes, but it's not over. The evening has to hold another competition. This is the final Bloc Summer Masters for the female and the male at 8 o'clock. My name is David Patterson, and I'm delightful to have here Thomas Gobeher, the trainer from the steering team here in Austria, the national team from here in Graz.
And last minute, 30 seconds. He's trying hard. And it's on the zone again.
Getting some love from the crowd. Looking really promising.
Yeah, he's on the last few holds. And he's on the top, he's on the top. And he managed to do the top. Really, really strong. So he's managed to do it. Position number 3.
Who just
Now
took out
position number 3.
Max Breton of the
Yeah,
third
what a
position.
pity. Max Breton on position number 4.
It went down to the number of tries, as Max Breton did it in 7 tries, 3 tops and 3 zones, and Boyan Kidov just destituted him with 3 tops and 3 zones in 5 tries. So those are our scores. The winner for the U16 boulder is Timo Ušnik with 3 tops and 4 zones in 4 tries. On second position, Toma Jakovovic with 3 tops and 4 zones in 5 attempts. And last but not least, Kidov Boyan with 3 tops in 5 attempts. And on the women's side, we have Anna Bolius looking super, super strong, followed by Karla Sirinsky with 3 tops and 4 zones on 5 attempts, and Sofia Wender with 3 tops and also 4 zones in 8 attempts. Anna Bolius is the only woman who could top all 4 boulders. Strong performance from her.
Really,
And
really good set. Good set and finals. So it was a pleasure to commentate and pleasure to watch. I think all the athletes had a lot of fun, and now they're already preparing for the next comp. So it's going again.
Where are we going next time, Thomas?
The next time, now at 20 o'clock, I think 2015, we have the Masters finals. So it's the last competition, the last finals for this week, and the last finals, the last competition for this event. And we have the Bloc Summer Masters. It's one international competition. We have, I think, in the field we have Orion Berdon is here. I think we have Stasha Geo. Yeah, yes.
We have the Austrian winner from the Masters, Francis Sterer.
Francis Sterer is also here. She's really, really strong. She could show a really, really good performance at the Austrian Championship.
Yeah.
And with the men's field, we also have strong performers. I think with the women's field, we already also have
Annie Girard?
yeah, exactly. Fanny is also here. And with the men's boys, I don't know, don't have the list here, but also very, very strong boys are on the list.
Nevertheless, thanks a lot for helping me commentate and getting all these spectators. A really interesting insight from a trainer.
Yeah.
And thanks for all your expertise as a coach and athlete.
Now, a big thanks to our cameramans upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, I let you go and cheer your athletes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot again.
Thank you too.
Thank you. And we're going to be followed with the flower ceremony, and the route setters are taking down the holds because they have to set now the finals of the Bloc Masters. don't go away. Go to the toilet, fill your drinks, eat something, and we're going to be back very soon for the last final of the Bloc Masters here in Graz for the Bloc Summer Masters of Bergfuchs. And here we have Patrick Gassner from Vorarlberg on the music.
Hello, thank you.
How has been these 3 days?
It was amazing time. Thank you for inviting us. We were 2 DJs and we had a great time on the stage, on the bar. We always have cool drinks and we enjoyed it a lot. Thank you very much.
It's really nice, guys. You have been cheering everybody in. Actually, a lot of the part of how the ups and downs are going up, thanks to you guys, because you're calculating every single stimulus with your music, actually.
Yeah, we tried our best, and before we talked a lot how we do it, but it's always a little bit different because you have to look how the athletes boulder, and so you have to be a little bit spontaneous and just do it like this.
There is your companion, Ali Flatzel.
Yeah, now he's on camera. This is my buddy. And we are together, 2 people, because we had a lot of play from morning to evening, a lot of hours, and yeah, we are looking forward to the final tonight. Yeah. We are very, very excited, and we want to play amazing songs for you all guys.
Yeah, I mean, before yesterday, the finals were amazing.
Thank you.
The masters of the women and the men. And you guys were so motivated till late.
Yeah, always
really
motivated. Also with the sound, and we tried our best. This is our job. And yeah, we had a lot of fun here. Thank you to all guys.
Well, thanks to you, and I hope you keep us entertained.
Yes.
It's a privilege to have.
Thank you very much.
Such a nice DJs coming from all the way from Vorarlberg.
Yes, yes. Far away, but it was a big pleasure for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And that was Patrick Gasser. Here giving us a little bit of the insights from the DJs, and we're gonna carry on with the flower ceremony very briefly. We're gonna take a little break. Please don't go away. We'll be back soon.
Die Aufgabe der Gewinner des Gewinnspiels statt, den veröffentlicht hier. Und zwar würden wir bitten, die Elisabeth, die Simone Pettek, Stefan Schrammel und Alexander Böbel bitte einmal Richtung Bühne kommen. Hauptsache vorne zur Bühne.
benötigt. Einen riesen Applaus für das gesamte Team von Bloc Summer Graz. Und wir werden ja alle lange noch jetzt gewinnen. Aber jeder, der uns das Leben enorm erleichtert hat im Aufbau während des Turniers, ist unser Logistikpartner, weil ich ihn erzähle, einen Vertreter davon, damit ihr nicht nach. Von der Firma Gerade Logistik, riesen Applaus, wir müssen ständig Sachen von A nach B transportieren und bekommen alles von mir eigentlich. Und riesen Applaus dafür, vielen Dank. Ich übergebe es nicht kurz wieder an den Santiago für unser Gewinnspiel.
Und zwar zu gewinnen gibt es 10 Plätze für alle Hallen im Zuge unseres Bloc Summer Sessions Qualifikationsrundenformat, der in allen 5 Hallen in der Steiermark stattgefunden hat. Im Blockhaus, im Boulder Club, in Newton und im Boulder Point Leon sowie im CRC Graz gibt es jetzt 10 Plätze für die Simone. Bitte einmal kurz auf die Bühne kommen. Einen Applaus für die Simone. Und der zweite Gewinner, der Böbel Alexander und seine Vertretung, der Michael Lösch, bitte auch einmal kurz auf die Bühne kommen. Und auch der Schrammel Stefan, da bitte hat einen 10er-Block gewonnen. Gratulation auch an ihn. Danke an die Gewinner, ans Mitmachen. Und wir sehen uns dann fürs Finale. Da passiert schon alles im Hintergrund. Die Rundensätze sind bereit. Und das Finale dann um 20:15 Uhr von unseren Masters Bloc Summer Sessions hier in Graz. Bleibt da, holt sich was zum Trinken und dann können wir schon starten. Die Siegerehrung der besten 3 nach diesem U16-Finale beginnen wir bei den Damen U16 und am 3. Platz ein Riesenapplaus für die Sophia Avenda. Gratulation, super stark Platz vor meinem Publikum. Gratulation, super. Und auch einen Riesenapplaus für die Carla Trinski. Auch sie ist super stark geklettert hier. Ein Riesenapplaus für Platz 2. Und ganz aufs Stockerl rauf hat sich geklettert die Anna Polius auf Platz 1. Super stark. Da sind sie, die Gewinnerinnen des Bloc Summer Masters Bewerbs, präsentiert vom Bergfuchs, Kategorie U16. Vielen Dank an die Gewinnerinnen. Und weiter geht's mit den 3 stärksten Burschen U16. Auf dem 3. Platz, on the 3rd place, Bojan Kirov. Congratulations, big applause. Einen großen Applaus for the Hungarian athlete. Bulgarian athlete. Und auf Platz 2 on the 2nd position, Tomer Jakobovic. Super! Congratulations! And on 1st place, einmal die Hände freimachen, Timo Oschnik aus Kärnten. Gratulation für den 1. Platz. Da sind sie, die 3 stärksten Herren der U16-Kategorie. Danke an euch 3. Ihr habt es euch verdient. Super geklettert. Und nicht vergessen, hier geht es dann weiter mit dem Finale um 20:15 Uhr. Also holt sich was zum Trinken, lang ist nicht mehr. Haut sich noch irgendwo hin und dann können wir den stärksten Athleten des Landes und auch des Auslandes hier zuschauen. Beim Klettern, beim Performen. Stay tuned. Bis dann.
And that was the flower ceremony for the men and the women from the U16. And it's not over yet, as we said. We're going to keep on going at 8. We will be back live on at 10 to 8 evening PM here in Graz, local time, with the final of the men and the youth for the Bloc Summer Masters from Bergfuchs. But for now, we're going to have a look at the replays. Please don't go and keep with us. We're going to see each other very soon.